DJ Rhett Podcast.
How's your mom and them?
007. Yeah.
What?
Dude, you should be happy that this is 007. This is our 007 episode. You have a picture of yourself to be no, well, that's Mission Impossible.
That's Mission Impossible.
No, but do you have a picture of yourself being James Bond?
No. Well, I tell you what. A little black tie, a little suit and stuff. Oh yeah, I think I might could pull it off.
What would be your gadget? What would be the one gadget that Sean P has to have?
I'd have to have like a special spice or something.
A spice, like for your food?
Well, to throw in the villain's eyes or something.
Oh, all right. So it would be like Sean P poison, like
something
like that.
Oh yeah.
Sean P 00 poison. Like it would be, you would do like on Kickboxer. You ever watch that Kickboxer with Jean-Claude and the guy goes in his thing and he throws.
Oh yeah.
He throws it. And you would do something like that.
I guess.
A little bit more subtle.
I tell you what, maybe back in the day, old Sean P could roll around, but not today. This fat boy ain't. He can't have them slick moves no more.
Yeah, but you could be the international spy of food, right? I mean, the way you cook, man. I mean, your cooking's good, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Tell you what.
Tell me how you got into that cooking side.
Well,
did your dad cook when you were little?
Well, I tell you, the whole deal is I like to eat. It's the main thing.
Well, I mean, I love it too, but I don't know how to cook.
Yeah, I think what happened, it was years ago. My mom had worked at Louisiana Land years ago, and they had one of the guys that represented them, all their land litigation. He was a lawyer from New Orleans, Mr. J.B. Miller. He walked in there and he needed somebody. He wanted somebody to go out to his camp and go cook for him out there at his hunting camp. And I was just out of high school. That was in 80s. I graduated in 85, but that was like in 87.
I'm not too far behind you. I was 95, so I'm 10 years. You got 10 years on me. It's all right.
Yeah, well, I'm making old double nickel this year.
Hey, man, it's all good.
So Mr. Miller, he had me go out there and cook for him, and naturally, everybody's mama always cooked the best.
Right.
Know. So whenever I was cooking or whatever, I say, "Hey, Ma," I'd call her, "Hey, how you do this? How you do that?" And it just kind of evolved.
Right.
It just evolved from there.
So you learn from mama. See, yeah. I mean, my dad was the cook, believe it or not, in our family. Like, we will always want my dad to cook. My mom was like, my mom can make a mean bowl of cereal, or she could like really. No, I'm teasing. My mom can cook, but one of her specialities, and I'm not pulling your chain here. She would make beanie weenies and fried eggs. That was her Sunday night delicacy.
Well, Mom, like I said, when Mom, I give Mom credit for early on, but my dad's a mean cook too now.
Oh, he is.
Oh, yeah. Old Pop's got it going on.
We did an episode with hoghead cheese, and you told me that your dad used to make that.
Right. Yeah,
that's where you learned it from?
Yep. His old hoghead cheese recipe.
Now, he would make it, how he would make it, pork or roast?
All Boston but pork roast.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Did he try anything else, or that was his... That was the one that he went to.
His go-to thing. Now, I got a friend of mine. He'll take leftover
whatever
duck.
Oh,
like
duck.
say he pot fried some duck or whatever.
Right.
And he'll mix that up. And I mean, you just kind of get that gelatin and
right. I mean, you could if you think about it, you can make hoghead anything.
Right.
Well, I mean, cheese anything.
Right. Exactly.
You can make fig cheese if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But no, he did some. It was some duck cheese, I guess, is what you say. And man, it was.
Well,
I've
heard of like turkey cheese. I've heard of all kind of different cheeses that people make. But
definitely.
So, I mean, naturally, you and I met like in what the maybe 2000 or late 90s, early 2000s when we worked at the radiator shop.
Right. That was, yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's how we kind of met. But you worked in radiators for a while, though. You were at East Park, right? Before you came to
I started there when I was probably 16.
Oh, okay. So straight out.
I mean, I was, I tease my kids all the time. I say, man, I've been in the workforce for a while.
Forever, yeah. Oh,
know, I would ride my bike from the Oak Lawn.
Mm-hmm.
I'd ride my bike to the shop. It was East Park Radiator. I worked for Mr. Darryl Belanger, great guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I had keys for the shop. I'd work. I was in the 8th grade. I'd get over there about 3:30, and whatever chores they needed me to do, stocking batteries, sweeping the floor, just whatever.
The little gopher.
That's it. I did it. And I worked till 7.
Earn your little minimum wage until you got out of school.
Well,
huh?
you know what's crazy is he was paying me better than minimum wage.
Wow.
I think he was paying me like $6 an hour.
Wow.
And that was in
That was in the 80s?
yes.
Oh, yeah. You were
yeah. And I mean
shitting high cotton right there.
So and that's kind of what I took a few semesters at college. I went to
Right.
Nichols a few semesters.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I went to the Harvard on the Bayou.
You went to
Bob.
Harvard on a bio? All right, but you didn't
What?
finish, right?
Well,
It just wasn't for you, or how?
Well, yeah. College wasn't for me. I was
Right.
going for my mom. My mom always wanted me to get a college degree.
Right.
And in the grand scheme of things, I love to hunt and fish too much. I love the outdoors. That's where my passion is.
Right.
And I just I had that turning point was I had to read like a little 80-page paperbacks book over the weekend. It was for English.
Right.
And I didn't do it. I went hunting or fishing, whatever, that weekend. And the next,
I'm gonna watch the movie on Sunday night. Don't worry about it.
And then it's like I'm wasting my money. And at that time, college was cheap.
Yeah.
It was like $350 a semester,
Well,
$350, and that's cheap.
My first semester was in '95, and it was $600 when I went.
Yeah.
And I think my last semester at Nichols was like $1,000, and that was in 2000-ish, somewhere
Right.
around there. And I saw on it's like almost $5,000.
Oh, it's crazy
right now. A
it's
semester.
crazy.
So I got to start saving some my TikTok funds.
What?
I got
for
3
your
daughters.
What? That's gonna be a
and weddings.
whoa. That's what I'm
Look,
talking
I'm gonna
about.
just make them a deal right now. Each of $10,000. Y'all do what y'all want.
That's
Y'all
it.
Just
Go
leave me
to
alone.
Vegas. Go see Elvis.
No, I'm gonna hook them up, but I ain't no $100,000 wedding. I don't think
but
so.
Like I said, when I was going to, there's another funny deal about going to Nichols. I didn't. I think my dad had given me an old Ford truck, and all the good maintenance I did, it blew a hole in the side of the block
Uh-huh.
because it had all that oil in the truck. You see. So anyway, they
Didn't have no loud music in that truck, huh?
What? Daddy had, so they had an old station wagon.
Mm-hmm.
It was an Oldsmobile, gray Oldsmobile station wagon.
Go
Huge,
ahead.
huge party barge, so to
Right.
speak. No reverse. It only went forward. Had a 450 in this big booger. And I would take that to Nichols every day. And I had to park out by the football stadium.
Did you have a nickname for it?
No, I know.
I'm gonna call it the Clark Griswold.
But I had to park on a corner
Right?
so I could always go straight out.
Uh-huh.
And there was no reverse. And I had to park way in the back.
You ever did that? You ever pulled up to a parking spot and went, "Oh, damn"?
No, never did. No.
'Cause that was the first thing on your mind when you pull up.
When I pulled up, I made sure I had a straight line getaway with that big old party barge. What? But anyway, college wasn't for me. And like I said, Mr. Darryl was a great guy to work for. He
Right.
paid me. He paid me well for when I was working there, and I stayed there for years.
Yeah, well,
And,
I mean, you say well because when I started, when I was at the radiator shop with you, with David Bienvenu, who also is a great guy, give you the shirt off your back. He started me off at like $5.25, and that was like $1 over minimum wage when I started, and that was like 95, 96 ish, something like
Right.
that. So yeah, $6 in the 80s. That's
Yeah.
that's like $15 an hour.
Yeah, he was. Mr. Darryl was a very generous man, and yep, great guy.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
now East Park, it used to be somewhere else, but then moved to the old Deep South building, right?
Exactly.
Or
Well-
vice versa. How did that
Well,
work?
exactly. Well, where David's shop is today
Right.
used to be East Park Radiator back then, and that was
Okay. All right.
Mr. I think I got the name right, Mr. Bob Eshday, which was Mr. Darryl Belanger's father-in-law,
Okay.
had that on Park
Okay. Yes.
before the bridges.
I remember now.
Before the bridges were
East
there.
Park Radiator, the name.
Right.
Okay. Hence the name.
So
okay.
when they moved, they actually moved next door to Deep South.
Right.
The Pontiac State was still there selling cars. They had a building Mr. Darrell, they built a building there.
Right.
And then when Deep South, I guess, I don't know why they ever closed. I guess I don't understand that deal.
No, I think they. Well, my mom used to be the finance manager over there, and I think they just moved to Canoyer and all had that on is it West Park? Was it West Park Avenue?
Oh,
or Main,
okay,
West Main, I think it is.
Up there on Bayou Cane?
Right. That little area right there. They moved in right there. And then, I think I got my dates wrong, but on Martin Luther King, I think it's the Nissan place now. Oh, no, it's Barker now. It's Barker. But they all had, they played musical chairs with those car companies over there.
Yeah, so then East Park, then they just kept the name.
Right.
And they moved right there.
Moved right there. And they still there, huh? Still kicking?
Yeah. Yep. They kind of diversified away from the small automotive stuff to
more marine and industrial
big coolers for supply boats and river tugs and stuff like that.
I gotcha. Now, now I know you you're known for your cooking and you're known for your carpentry. Did you learn like did you learn from your dad growing up, or did you learn a lot of your skills from the radiator place?
Well, I learned all my carpenter stuff from my dad.
Okay, so he did that for a living?
Yeah, my dad was a carpenter by trade, him and his brother.
Okay.
And so I learned a lot from him. And then, everybody kind of relate to this in South Louisiana. I done rebuilt my house twice with the storms.
Exactly.
So a lot of hands-on, training like that. So I got to doing it that way. And like I said, with me going out there with Mr. Miller, if we just go back a little bit, I got to meet a bunch of guys that were some of the current vice presidents and presidents of Continental Land at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was always in the back of my mind, I wanted to do something other than the radiator business. I mean, it was a dead-end job. I figured I could do some carpenter work. And what happened, just as the years went along, Continental bought Mr. Miller's little hunting operation. They did it more of an entertainment type deal.
Right.
So I started guiding for the guys and cooking at their
bringing
camp.
Customers and stuff out there.
Bringing customers and stuff. And along with still working at East Park Radiator.
Right.
And I just got to the point where I just made a jump. And I said, I can make a go of it doing carpenter work and having a trapping lease. They were able to grant me a trapping lease.
Okay.
So with the alligators and the neutral program, and then the guiding and stuff I did for Continental Land, rather, I could make a living.
Yeah.
So I was able to kind of play most of the winter,
right,
and then just do a little carpenter work through the summer. It was a cool gig for a while,
right.
But nothing lasts forever. It's just kind of, the way life is, man. Timing is
comes
everything.
And goes. Huh?
Oh yeah. So
that was kind of like with me, like last year. You look at the pandemic. I mean, somebody like you need to be out and about with people to make a living. Okay.
Right.
What I do, I mean, I'm kind of like in a virtual land where I can still entertain people from, and still kind of make a living from that side. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of had one of my best years last year during the pandemic. Now looking at it when I was during it, I'm like, man, this sucks, But then looking back on it, I mean, looking back on everything that happened in 2020, you think you're a better person, or you? Well, you learned a few tricks to get around stuff.
I tell you what, I'm very easygoing as it is.
Yeah,
so it takes a lot to get me riled up. But I think I probably stayed status quo. I don't think it really changed me too much. I did lose a lot of business because I charter fish now.
Right.
So I mean, and when it first happened, that was in March. I lost a lot of business that we had in March.
Right.
We had some guys that were going to come in from Canada to come fishing, stuff like that. Where naturally nobody was flying.
Exactly.
So you couldn't get on a plane.
Now, from a charter fishing standpoint, and I'll get your perspective on this. When everything started shutting down, did people just kind of make up their mind that, okay, I'm just not going to go? Or was there any type of like laws saying that you can't bring people out? Or it just kind of was just a no-brainer, don't come?
With the Charter Boat Association that we're a part of, they actually checked it all out, and it was legal for people to go fishing.
Okay.
Because you were outside, you really weren't on top of each other. So yeah, you could still
You're
bring
in the great
people
outdoors.
fishing.
Yeah,
Right,
okay.
right.
But still, people were just kind of freaked
Well,
out.
I think what happened the first month or so, people kind of really, stayed to themselves. They
put.
stayed in.
Yeah.
But I think once it got to about May and them parents had been home with them kids, for 6-8 weeks,
Yeah.
and they were ready to cut it loose and say, well, man, I'm coming out there, baby. And so it started picking up. So actually, I had a real good summer.
Yeah.
People started fishing and started moving around. I think after they kind of got a handle on what the virus
What
was
the
doing.
situation was. Yeah.
So it actually turned out to be a good year. And then, the latter part of the year, just having so many storms,
Yeah.
kind of jacked us up a little bit. But,
Tell me about that. I mean, I know the state's been hit by five named hurricanes this year
I think it was 7 named hurricanes
that got hit, right? Louisiana, or like grazed or something, impacted.
Yeah, it was definitely
impact the
7
state.
named storms. I think I'm right.
How from a commercial fisherman standpoint, that's? I mean, is everything still recognizable out there, or?
Fortunately enough, yes, it didn't really tear up the marsh or really mess with the environment too much. No fish kills too much, to my knowledge. Maybe in the fresh water by Black, some of that salt water come up and kind of had some fish kills on that end.
Yeah.
But as far as the saltwater deal, everything was still okay. We were real fortunate with all these storms that very minimal cleanup
Right.
in Dularge. Now, Cocodrie, some of our friends, some of our fishing guides in Cocodrie had a hard time. I think it was the one before Delta. There was so many, but there was one that kind of passed.
They had Delta, Zeta. They had
I think it was the one before Delta.
Beta. Was it Beta?
Might have been one of them. And
it was one of those sororities.
yeah, man, them damn sororities. They know how to party, huh?
What?
But they got jacked up. But like I said, it's more or less the cleanup of the camps and the docks.
Yeah.
But the fishery still stayed solid.
It's crazy. It's crazy how that happens. Like this year, we had 30 plus storms that was like coming all around us, and then like you said, 5 to 7 actually hit us, but really no like crazy damage. And in 2005, when we had all those like Katrina, Rita, it was like destruction, like forever. And it just depends, because that year I remember those hurricanes kind of came from the east and kind of grazed us as it was going to the west. It was coming this way. Whereas these kind of came north, like north and south, like straight hit. And it really does depend on how them things come in, on what kind of impact it has on us.
And once again, if you think about it this way too, Katrina came north.
Right.
Trying to think, Rita, I think skirted the coast.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Rita skirted the coast. You had Gustav and Ike. I think they all skirted. They kind of
skirted. Ike kind of came up and went into Terrebonne Bay. So,
but now, had we had some levees at that time, I know people, that's another topic, but had we had levees for Rita and for Ike, and if they would all been able to be closed,
right?
My house was flooded a couple of times, so that probably wouldn't have happened.
You probably would have still been on the ground,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, as soon as your house is up now.
Yeah, I'm up.
But I like that, man. I like it
too.
At first, I didn't like all these houses being put on pillars and stilts and stuff like that. But I'm like,
it's awesome,
man. It's like a 2-story house now.
Well, I got more place to cook.
You got a party pad down there.
Yeah, man. I got me a little outside little bar place where I cook at.
Actually,
and stuff.
I want to DJ. I DJ'd over there one time.
That's right, for one of the girls'
birthday parties or something,
or graduate something.
I don't know. We don't need an excuse to party. Just
that's right.
Pull out the speakers and let's go.
Yeah. So in the grand scheme of things, I'm glad it's raised. It gives you a lot more living space underneath of it for sure.
Right.
For sure.
Now, another thing I wanted to talk to you about, I mean, I think one of the reasons why people are drawn to the show, like, as far as like y'all catching and all the stuff that we do, is because we're very positive people, okay? You've always have a smile. You always, like you said earlier, it takes a lot to ruffle your feathers. I don't think I've ever seen you mad, ever. Tell me how Happy Friday started. Did you just one day wake up and turn the camera on?
That's a good
How'd that
deal.
happen?
Well, what happened, I guess it's probably a few years back. I was still doing some guiding, but I was doing a lot of cooking for the camps also down the bayou. And so it was a Friday, and I'm cooking a big old pot of jambalaya. And I'm like, boy, I'm thinking, man, some people got to really work today. I'm over here, I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm working. Like I'm fishing. And I'll tell some of my friends, I say, yeah, I'm working tomorrow. What, you going fishing? Yeah. I said, well, yeah, I'm working.
Yeah. But, that's like me, too. What you doing? You making a dub or you making another music video? I'm working, I'm having a good time. But
so I was cooking this jambalaya, and I said, man, I'm going to jack with these people on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So I just did a little impromptu Happy Friday. I said, Happy Friday, Facebook, what y'all doing? I just started my little deal, and I said, I wonder how that jambalaya tastes. So open up the pot and grab a spoon or whatever. And it got a good response. So I just try to do it every Friday. Now, some Fridays I don't do it because it
ain't a good Friday.
Well, it's just it has to be an impromptu thing. It's got to come out.
You don't want to force it.
It's got to come out naturally. Right. And hey, I'm a very straightforward guy. I tell you something, that's what it is.
Right.
I'm not trying to
sugarcoat. No.
So
it is what it is.
And so I can't pretend to be happy on a Happy Friday.
Right. You got to be authentic.
It's straight.
Right.
It's just right there.
Right.
So sometimes they may not have one, and that's the reason, because I just, either if I thought about it and say, oh, man, I didn't do a Happy Friday, that means it shouldn't have happened anyway.
Right. If you have to think about it, and it's like it's at the end of the day, then it's not that it wasn't a Happy Friday. It's just, you got to feel that special place in your heart. But
exactly. So
I love how you just say it, like every day's a Happy Friday.
That's right, baby.
So I mean, why you got to complain?
Tuesday. That's right.
Tuesday's a Happy Friday.
That's right.
Look, this is the way I look at it. If I wake up and I see the ceiling, it's a good day. I woke up. Thank the Lord. We could be in worse places than that.
Well, that's exactly right. Like sometimes I think to myself, even with the fishing and all, it might be cold, because the older I get, my tolerance for the cold isn't as it used to be.
Well, we were supposed to go film an episode today, and yesterday was about 61 in the morning, and then it kind of started falling to about 55.
Right.
And then even Sean told me, because the first episode we went on, it wasn't as cold as it was going to be this morning.
Right.
But I was barely prepared for that one, and I was freezing. So I called up on Sean P. I said, bro, let's podcast today in a nice warm studio.
When I texted you, I said, hey, dude, bring a jacket. Yeah. I know how you like to, wear them tight shirts and show them guns and stuff. But
I try, bro.
No, I said, you better bundle up, cuz it's going to be cold. You're going to need your big boy drawers on in the morning.
I know. Man, it was cold this morning.
It was chilly. It was chilly.
I think it was 34 or something this morning, the wind was blowing or something.
Yeah. Well, I think the wind chill I saw it felt like 36.
36. Oh, okay.
But if you're running in a boat that's moving 40 miles an hour,
18.
It's pretty chilly.
I mean, dude, it could be 62 degrees outside, and you get a little wet, and you're going in that boat, and it feels like it's sub-zero temperatures.
Right.
So,
but getting back, morning, I was thinking, even though it's like I charter fish now a lot and do carpenter work and stuff, but even on those days that I'm thinking, oh, it's freezing out here, or it's hot out here.
Right.
I think about the alternative. I said, well, I could be, sweating it out at the radiator business, or having some sawdust fall on the back of my neck. Yeah. I say, I'm pretty good right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty good right here, baby.
You could be with the blowtorch trying to cut those old rusted nuts.
You remember
off.
that, T? Boy, we'd have to cut them bolts off of them big bolt-up radiators. Yeah. And that's before you had the top out there.
I know.
You was in the direct sunlight.
In the sunlight. It was 92 degrees.
Cutting.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Where was safety then?
There was no such thing as safety back then. Let me tell you, it was, bro, I need this thing. When you need that radiator, I needed it yesterday.
Right.
Okay, you're just bringing them into today? All right, well, I need to record. We need to order the radiators. We need to order the bolts.
Right.
I need it yesterday.
They
watch you the whole time. And I'm like, bro, I got to bring this to the sandblaster. I got to do this, got to do that. Hey, bro. $250 a day, $250,000 a day downtime on a rig.
Right.
If you don't get that, so I don't care.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, man.
You better get her done.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
so
right.
I mean, and that's what it is. Like down here, I mean, we're in the oil field. We're in the thick of things down here. And I always say it, in the oil field, it's either, when it's good, it's really good. And when it's bad, it just depends on where you're at. It could still be good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you're on the lower end of the totem pole, like if you just came into a new company, I mean, you're X'd, so, but, the next best thing around here, which you're making your living off of, is the land
fishing.
and the water and the
yeah.
fishing.
I
So.
love it. I tell you, I still with Continental Land, I got close to 3,000 acres that I trap on, and so we still get some alligator tags and stuff like that. So the prices of the alligators aren't near like they used to be. So we're making a little money with that, not much, and I enjoy going to do the neutral control program.
Right.
That's kind of like a eradication.
Right.
They take over the marsh and they're chewing up the grass, and so that just more. You don't have no grass holding the soil.
Right.
Everything just dissolves into the water.
Right.
So
right.
we over there just doing that, and that's fun.
Time out. Hold up. Hang on a second. Don't change the dial. Sometimes our equipment goes out, the batteries go dead, and we don't know about it because we're so into the podcast. So here is what we're going to do. We're going to keep playing the audio version, and you're going to see our two beautiful sponsors right now, okay? So don't go away, Shaq. Next time we'll have more battery power. So tell me about that. Tell me about because I've never went neutral hunting before, but I poke fun at it all the time, but you got some people that take that stuff seriously. I mean, they go out there and they pow.
Yeah.
Now it used to be $5 a tail, right? But it's going up.
It's $6.
Okay.
$6.
How do they come up with all of that?
Actually, I think if I'm correct, one of the guys that I used to work with at Continental, Mr. Greg Lindstrom, was the brainchild of this. He used to work with Wildlife and Fisheries years ago. And he came up with the idea of, since there was no market for the fur, that they needed to control them some kind of way and put a bounty on them.
Okay.
And so they were able to get federal funding for it. Those funds come to the state, and the state issues out a contract with Coastal Environmental Incorporated. And so they do the program, and anybody can sign up for the program.
Okay, so you have to have a neutral license.
You have to get a license to do it. You send out an application, and as long as you have written permission from the landowner, and a map of where you're taking these animals from, anybody can do it. Actually, they want people to do it on WMAs and stuff like that.
Because is that big of a problem?
Right. Well, I know it used to be a really big problem. They upped the bounty to $6 because they thought people had kind of lost interest. But just last year, there was just conditions weren't right. Either the water was too low and it was hot, or just conditions aren't right.
So a Nutra likes cold weather, or
well, it's easier to harvest them when it's really, really cold. And you got water that's high enough to where you can maneuver around.
Kind of get them out. It drives them out of their holes.
Right. So
gotcha.
there's less land for them to stand on.
I got you.
So it kind of flushes them up a little bit. You can see them better. And when they're cold, they don't really.
They kind of hibernate.
Well, they don't run as fast. But when they don't run as fast,
it's not as fun.
But
it's not as much as a challenge.
Right. But
it's not like shooting poodoo like I do, huh?
Oh my God.
We're gonna get that video. The video is gonna be coming out.
I'll talk
We're
to
still
somebody.
editing it. Then we're trying to make it.
You're trying to make yourself look good.
Yeah.
It's no hope, Rhett. I'm
No.
sorry,
Actually, it looks better with the actual what happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, because it's funny. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong. I think people watch the Y'all Catching shows because it's two knuckleheads
Right.
just being real. I mean,
Right.
let's be honest. You love that. You love being out there. You the thrill. Sometimes we even have to tell you, like off camera, Sean, slow down. We got to get this. We got to get the scene because this guy's like really into what he does.
Right.
But we're
Passionate.
but on the other side, we're really into what we do too, which is camera angles, action.
Right.
You know, trying to do all of that stuff. So, but at the end of the day, I can care less if we catch fish or not. I mean, I'm not a real avid like fisherman, but we're couillons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people can take refuge in that because they could be like, it's relatable because, you know.
That's what I'm going to say. Everybody, not everybody has a slammer day fishing all the time.
No, never.
Not everybody has a slammer day duck hunting all the time.
Right.
So,
but you see these shows and it's like they loading up the boats. You know?
Right.
Not real.
Yeah, it's all fake.
Fake news.
Man, they can make that camera angle make that fish look like it's 5-6 different fish.
Oh, look, I went to do a show and we did some alligator hunting and look, they make a 4-foot alligator look like he's 13 foot. It's very easy to do that. So with just camera angles and stuff, you know.
It's a big
them
one.
girls do that on Instagram. I mean, it's the angles, you know what I'm saying?
Have mercy.
That's another topic. Don't even get on that.
Yeah, I can't. I was trying to broaden my horizons, so to speak.
And
And
you didn't wander off on that in that direction. Huh?
I kind of I put one or two little videos on old TikTok, trying to do TikTok and things.
Oh no!
Hey, I'm coming out. I'm coming out.
You
Dude,
busted your bubble.
Oh, dude. So they got some crazies on that old TikTok.
Dude. Do this. Do me a favor. If you get on TikTok, do the Bust It challenge.
The bust.
Just type in Bust It. BUSSET. Bust It.
Bust It challenge.
You'll just be on there for hours.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying. It's the premise of it. It's a woman and she's not dressed up. She's like in pajamas and she's no makeup, no nothing. You know, typical what your woman looks like without divvied up.
Right.
And then they just drop to the floor when the bass hits. Boom, bust it, and it just changes. They all to dude up. So it's a quick. It's like a transition between not having makeup on and being like I'm getting ready to go to not Sunday church. I'm going to Saturday night. Boomtown Casino, and we're going to watch the Chiwis, and I'm going to find me a dude. What? You know what I'm saying?
Bust it.
Bust it.
I'm getting all kind of culture today on this here podcast. I'm learning.
Stay off of TikTok,
it's hard to teach your old dog new tricks, but I'm gonna have to learn that one quick.
It's all good, man. We're gonna do a couple of TikToks when we go back out and fish, man.
Yeah,
we'll do some funny stuff. We'll make the fish look huge like Jaws.
Nice, but yeah. So we're gonna do that crawfishing thing. We're gonna do that.
Yeah, that's one of the episodes we had talked about doing is going to the crawfish ponds and teaching people how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's so we're gonna go to a pond or we're gonna go in a ditch?
We're gonna do that out in the marsh.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna do it out in the marsh.
Yeah, we're gonna do it the real deal.
Oh no, it's gonna be 100% authentic.
Yeah, because when we go down, like every time I pass down 90 and 182 on the side of the road, you got 17 to 20 cars.
Oh no,
on the side of the road.
We're gonna do it, and that way you can have your little slimy friend in that old trap.
What, the snake?
Oh, probably so.
Yeah, well,
you'll get a kick out of that.
I heard one of my uncles
maybe
went.
we might let Aaron pull up one of the traps.
He said he's never seen so many freaking snakes in his life. So, explain a crawfish trap to me. Is it like a crab trap?
No, they call them pillar traps. They most of them are 4 foot, but most of the fishermen have 5 or 6 foot pillar traps, and it's almost like a.
It almost looks like a Chinese finger puzzle almost.
If you took a big cylinder, say it's a 30-inch cylinder, and then you smashed it, it would look kind of rectangle with that chicken wire.
Right.
So the bottom of it, they'll fold in the corners to make the funnels.
Okay.
And then the top of it is kind of, I think they tighten up the corners a little bit, but that's where you dump your crawfish from.
Gotcha.
So you're just throwing the bait inside of it. And the 2 funnels that are formed from pushing in the corners at the bottom is how the crawfish get in.
Right.
And so you want to always face it downstream because the crawfish walks into the current. He's walking upstream.
Okay.
So you want your net to be facing downstream. That way, old crawfish, he going to be crawling down the bottom. Oh man. Oh, where's that? Oh, I smell some of that fish or something. Some of that crab bait or something.
Oh,
boy,
what's this little wire?
Yeah. Oh, but that's where the smell coming from.
Who would put all this food in the middle of this wire right here? What an idiot.
Yeah, boy, this is some good stuff here, boy. I'm getting knee deep in it. So
Next thing you know, he's taking a hot bath 2 days later.
Oh, Lord, I can't. So anyway, we're going to try to do it in some of the canals out there by the camp.
Right.
And, I hope they have some.
I've never been crawfishing before.
Oh, dude, it's a blast.
I mean, I'll go crabbing, fishing, all that stuff, but I never really, I mean, the most I go crawfishing is at, the restaurant and order me a couple of platters, That's what I do.
Dude, it's interesting. I went with a buddy of mine in the Chaffalay in the basin, and he's running through the swamp.
Right.
And we way in the swamp.
Right.
How he knows how to come back, but I guess he, in and out of there every day.
Yeah. Well, swamps change like every day, it seems like, huh?
And it's all in these trees, and it's
all looks
crazy.
the same.
It all looks the same. But dude, it was pretty fun.
That's how I'd be out there and I'd be like, help!
But we're gonna definitely do that. It'll be pretty neat. I think people get a kick out of that.
Yeah. Well, what kind of bait would you use for crawfish?
Well, a lot of people use pogie, and then you can go to the feed store and they got dry bait. I don't know exactly what makes the dry
is it
bait.
like cornmeal or something? Is it like that type of stuff?
Honestly, it looks like a dog turd.
Really?
No, it looks like a big round corn cob, brown corn cob.
Oh, wow. And you just stick that in there.
You put a piece of dry bait and a piece of fish, piece of pogie.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna find out.
Now
that's gonna be fun.
Now those little mud things that come up like that, you know what I'm talking about? That in your ditch,
dude. That is some of those crawfish. I mean, you're right. If you were to skim that ground off and levee off that whole area,
you have some crayfish
have a crawfish
down there.
pond. Yes, that's what it is.
That's what it is. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
And now I mean, that's what a crawfish needs is just warm, like a ditch, like
right.
to hibernate or whatever, or like call.
What happened years ago was, especially in the basin, the wintertime comes, the water subside. There's no water in there. It's just all mud.
Right.
So the crawfish,
mud bugs.
Yeah, the crawfish bury themselves down in that mud.
Right.
And so in the spring, when all the snow melts, that water comes down. That water comes downstream, floods the swamp, and the crawfish come up, and they start
feeding.
They start feeding and moving around, and that's how you get them. But so now you got all these rice fields. They can control the water, and the crawfish come in so much earlier because these rice ponds are shallow. So when they put that water in there, the sun, you get some warmer days, 60, 70 degree days. That sun beating down on that water can warm up that water pretty quick.
Gotcha.
And so you'll have some crawfish early.
Right.
But I ain't paying that high price for them birds.
We got to wait till like Lenten season or whatever. Yeah.
That's kind of like giraffe.
Yeah.
It's that high.
It's that giraffe poontang. Yeah, that's way high.
Yeah, that's up
way
there.
high.
No.
Now, tell me the difference between, and I always poke fun at this, but tell me the difference between like a spillway crawfish and like pond crawfish. Is it just where they're harvested at, or is it a particular like style, or what do they do? Right.
I think they pretty close to they kind of look the same. I think the spillway crawfish are going to look more greener.
Right.
When they come up, when they first,
because it's more fresh water.
Right, okay. Right. It's not in those ponds.
Right.
I think a lot more current in the spillway. I think the big difference is the Bell River crawfish versus the spillway.
Right.
The Bell River, most of those crawfish are they paler. And they got the smaller little pinchers on them.
Right.
Whereas the spillway crawfish, that's the Big Mac Daddy's got them big old.
Now
they're a little darker.
That's the ones that are darker, right?
Yeah.
They look like almost maroon,
right?
Like before you even ball them,
right?
They look bald before you even ball them,
right?
Like and then they got the smaller ones. It's almost like those got a harder like armor shell around them or whatever.
They're in the spillway, bro.
They're the Decepticons, and the other ones are the Autobots.
Dude, it's bad business down there on the bayou. Chill. I'm glad I ain't a crawfish.
It's hard out there in them bayous. Huh?
It's hard out there. It's hard to be a crawfish in the swamp.
So right now hunting season's like kind of just wrapping up.
It just ended. The duck season just ended last weekend. This weekend in our area, there's one more weekend for veterans. And so, yeah, I'll get cranked up running around trying to do a little nutria hunting.
Do a little nutria hunting right now.
And stuff, yeah.
So right now, like at the end of January, beginning of February, that's when the hunting season wraps up. Now, is it more of like, does your charter fishing kind of ramp up a little bit in the spring?
It kind of, January, February, March are typically our slower months. I'm actually fishing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend, and I got a trip the following weekend, but I don't have too much in March. Right. Too much in February. Those, like I said, are typically our slower months.
Well, a lot of people during Lent, they take vacations. They got the Mardi Gras going on and stuff during that time.
Yeah, but now April, it starts picking up in April and May, May, June.
That's when the weather kind of gets a little better and nicer to get out there.
The trout is definitely, depending on weather. Right. I mean, it'll start up mid-April in some years, but more often than not, you can gauge like May, the beginning of May. Right. That first big full moon in May, they're going to have some fish. Right.
Now, when you were out there during the pandemic, did you see, was there a lot more people fishing, or you think that this year maybe had because we talked about in our last episode about the wildlife and fishery having some concerns about the reproduction of the, harvesting, speckled trout. Do you think it had any effect on people not going fishing, or do you think more people went fish during the pandemic?
Well, there was more people fishing during the pandemic than any other year because everybody was sent home. Right. I got a friend of mine that actually has a bait business. He supplies baits to all the shops and the little, all the little bait stores
bait
and
shops,
stuff. Yeah, all the bait shops. And they could not keep up because everybody was sent home.
Right.
Same thing.
What else you gonna do? Stay at home with your wife and kids, or go fish?
Oh hell, I'm going fishing. So the same thing with I'd pick up materials at Morrison Lumber sometimes. I say, hey, how y'all doing? Man, we crazy. We busy because people are home. They doing all the honeydew.
That's what I was doing.
Well, there you go.
I put in cement culverts. I learned how to put in a cement. I don't. You know me. I'm a pretty boy. I don't like to get dirty.
Sure, put some gloves on, boy.
But
you don't want to work them
Holly
hands
got
on.
me dirty. Holly got me dirty. I made a cucumber and tomato garden.
What?
Yeah. I went and spent $300 to make a garden when I could have went to Rouse's and got that for like $1 a piece.
But don't them organic tomatoes taste good?
They are. And you know what? It's something about growing something where you want I put this in the earth and harvest my cucumber.
You get on there with tomato, old Sean P. starts thinking about food again. Boy, you get some good white Evangeline made bread.
Oh, what?
With a good slather of mayonnaise.
Yep.
With some bacon and tomato.
And a little Creole, picked straight from the...
Oh, my God. Look, I know they say BLT, bacon, lettuce, and tomato, but really, does the lettuce belong?
No.
Come on now.
No. Why? That's waste. That's getting in the way, man.
That's in the way.
Lettuce is getting in the way.
No, that's in the way, man. Just put the tomato and the bacon and make sure you put another slather of mayo on there.
My wife Holly, she loves that.
But fresh tomatoes, that's awesome.
Oh man, But we actually did we got kind of crazy with it. We planted some thyme and some some
herbs,
some herbs and stuff. And not that other herb.
I'm about to say, man, he going into the CBD business.
No, it's illegal in Louisiana. I already checked on that. No.
You were trying to diversify that portfolio.
Yeah. Hey, don't put it all in one basket.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying? You
got to spread that around, bro.
We got the lottery. Why not a dispensary?
Nice.
Nah, but no, we did our own little parsley and stuff like that. I mean, it was pretty. One thing that I learned during the pandemic, it was I appreciated life a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? It's I spent time with Holly and everything just nonsense went out the window, and
Well, how about your girls? How did they adapt?
Well, Daddy's
school
crazy
and
all the time.
everything,
Oh, they loved it. They loved being off of school. But I know it was right around, I want to say June, July. That's when you really get into your summertime and you're really in the heart. I don't want to go back to school. Right around that time, since they were off since March, they were like yearning to go back to school in June. Like it's like, I want to see my friends. I want to get back to normal. You know, it wasn't just us, the parents that were like going crazy. They were actually going crazy too.
So Rhett, I guess they took those kids because it was like in the middle of March. I think it was March 17th.
Yeah, it was.
So they just promoted these kids to the next grade?
Promoted them. Yep. Well, I mean, we your kids are older. They're out
mine
of school,
in college. Mine in college.
So it's a little different. They can maneuver through classes online and stuff like that. My kids are, 8th grade, 5th grade, and 1st grade. So I got the spectrum, bro. I mean, I got one. Next year, I'm going to have one in high school, one in middle school, and one still in elementary. So I'm going to have a flavor of everything. Yeah, wow. And all girls, too. So.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Well, you got all girls, too. So.
Yeah.
I mean, so you know where I'm coming from with that. But I mean, a ball of emotion. That's... Well, at least you got,
all your money goes out in paper down the toilet.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? I mean, I wouldn't change it.
No.
Any other way, man.
No.
I love them little girls, man.
Love them. I spoil them every chance I can.
But I mean, it's, you see, for me, like for you, do you get depressed when you can't, like, share, like, I mean, you taking gender out, you want to share that with your kids and everything like that. But what I'm saying is like, with, like, you want a son to carry that hunting stuff on with, But I have a son called Lily. You know what I'm saying? She loves to get out there and do stuff.
My girls would come out there, and I was hoping they had a passion,
right,
to be a fisherwoman, hunter person, whatever.
Right.
And they would come out there for me. I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
But do I wish? Yeah, I wish. I wish they'd like to do it more.
Right.
I have my little camp out there in the marsh. I tell you what, it's ideal for if you like to hunt and fish.
Right.
And I was just I was hoping they would participate a little more. They come out, like I said, they come out there and appease me.
Well, I mean, they see Daddy likes it, so they're gonna go out there and
we actually went. Well, what happened with the pandemic and all? My wife, she was able to work with on her computer,
right?
So we actually went out to the field office. We was out there for 10 days.
What?
Well, we stayed out there living off the land, baby.
Hey,
and dude, and then the crabs were running. We caught some of them big old gigantic, them prehistoric monster bone-crushing crab. Dude, that suckers was good.
And that's
I bought
what's
some
good
crabs out there, too.
That's what's good about going out to the camp, because whatever you catch, you either ball it or fry it, and then the next day you make a stew with it.
People, Mom, Now was like, what we bringing to eat? I said, we're going to bring a little flour, some cooking oil, a couple bags of sack of onions or something. Maybe a little rice.
And that's it?
That's about all you need. I mean, you go catch or kill something.
Exactly. You got
cook
frogs.
Some rice,
you got
baby.
Cook some rice. Let's get it.
What?
Let's get it.
And I tell you, I'll probably bring a few eggs because I like my little breakfast.
Yeah, no, definitely. You got to do that.
A lot of times, I'm going to the camp. I hardly bring anything that I'm gonna do for supper.
Right.
I'm gonna either kill a few ducks or we're gonna catch a catfish or something.
Well, that's
that's what I love about
when I was little.
There.
My parent, he owned a camp, and we had to get in a boat and go to it. I mean, and we would stay out there. We didn't go on vacation when we were little. We go to the camp when we were little. There's no such thing as Disney World and Destin and all that crap. No, we going to the camp.
But there's a cool story about my vacationing. I come from a big family.
Right.
I got 6 brothers and sisters. So imagine Daddy had an old brown station wagon, no air conditioning, and
did the back gate open this?
Yeah, we had the third seater all the way in the back.
That's what I'm talking about.
And
we had that too.
Hey, dude, we had all 9 of us.
You ain't living unless you're driving backwards to Disney World.
Our vacation beach was Grand Isle, Jack.
Yeah.
And Daddy would always...
a whole hour and a half drive.
Daddy always had some good friends of his, people that he worked for, would let him stay at a camp out there, and he'd bring us out there, and dude, we were living large on the island. Catching trout in the surf.
Isn't that the best?
Crabbing. And,
not a care in the world.
Hey, we were... And let me tell you what, cuz... When we were going it was like a 2-hour drive to Grand Isle because you had to go through
they didn't
Raceland.
have they didn't have the 4-lane. Yeah,
and the windows. You had that 260 air conditioning. No, 460. You rolled all 4 windows down to go 60 miles an hour. And Mama Lou in the front, she must have had a fly swatter that was 10 foot long. If you were messing up in the back, dude, she was gonna get you. Hey,
there were no rumper seats. There were no seat belts.
No, you're right. Nobody had a little phone that they're gonna entertain themselves for 2 hours.
No.
You just looked out the window and you was happy.
Exactly. Hey.
And you was quiet.
My dad said, you better play the license game. And I'm like, the license game? What are you talking about? See how many license states that you can find in the or we'd be like, pick your favorite color car. I got blue. I got the blue car. But Chase, I mean, he says, if I hear y'all say anything, by the time we get there, I'm turning this some bitch around.
They had that good, I remember stopping, Dad would always stop at that bakery on LA1. I can't. It leaves me now. I don't know.
I know what you're talking about.
And
they had them claws in there.
Yeah. We would stop over there. Daddy would always stop there, and we like I said, we'd go. That was our vacation. Grand Isle.
What they call
year.
them, the bear claws or the sweet rolls.
Daddy would get the chick de fawn.
The chick de fawn. It was a sweet roll.
Yeah,
it was like the orange little sweet roll.
I'm trying to remember the name of that.
I know what you're talking about, but the name's slipping me. If y'all watching the episode or if y'all listening to the episode, drop a little comment and let us know what that store was.
Right. It was a bakery. It was on LA1.
On LA1, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. And Daddy would stop over there. Man, it was fun times down there.
Oh man.
Now I will say this: when I was that young, like I said, just a small kid. I said, Daddy, what's wrong with them crabs? They got the big old pom-poms on the back end. What's wrong with them? Ain't nothing wrong with that, boy. Put that in the pot. What?
Pom-pom? You don't do that no more.
No. That's a no.
That's a no. Because if you bought them pom-poms, you ain't going to have pom-poms later.
Right.
You got to throw that back.
Man.
That pom-pom's the egg sack, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back in the olden days, we could do whatever you want. Nowadays, you can't do anything.
They would, Mom and them would go fishing. There was no size, no limit on the trout and the redfish and the drum.
Right.
Everything, 12, 14 inches.
Keep it.
Fill the box, bro.
Fill it up. Let's go.
Put some more meat in the box.
Let's go.
Oh, the good old days.
Yeah, man.
That was fun stuff.
I remember all of that stuff. I mean, I remember going down there. No care in the world. We'd hydro slide. I mean, we would not wear suntan lotion. We'd come back smelling high heaven.
Somehow or another.
We started caring.
My mother, bless her heart, I mean, she was a great mom. But I mean, today's kids, today's parents, if you go out like to a soccer game or something, they're slathering you with all kind of stuff.
I mean,
back then, hey, go ahead. Get out there.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, you go get burnt.
Yeah,
you need good tough skin. Go out there.
No, it might be like noon. Oh, I think we might have to put some sunblock on you.
Yeah, I know. Bro, you're looking like that wall right there.
Yeah. What happened here?
My dad would have the Schlitz with his Winston lights, and he'd be sitting with his little mustache on that old chair. You know what I'm talking about? With the fast chair. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Sit down at Yogi Bear and be like this. Hey, Bob. Stop complaining. Go out there in the pool. All right, it's going to rub off. Yeah, rub some sand, salt on it. It'll be all right. Oh, man, the good old days. But, yeah, nowadays, kids, they got shirts from head to toe. They got a hat on. They got something on their nose. They got white cream everywhere. They got a rope on them. Come here.
Right,
Don't go too far.
Oh, we would go. We'd be out in that surf.
There's nothing wrong with that, but cut the kids loose. Cut a little slack, man.
I remember walking up to my mom because like the waves was big.
Right.
Mom, I think I drowned it 5 times already.
Drowned it. Oh, come on, parents. Let your kids eat Comet. It's okay. Bro, you ever ate Comet before as a kid? Did your mom ever tell you that?
No.
I saw that happen to my godchild one time, but she didn't eat it. But it's crazy how why do kids want to eat Comet? Why do I want to eat Comet? Yeah, she just opened up the thing, and I think she just smelled it. and a little bit went on her nose, and she turned around, and we just freaked. So we're like sticking every finger we can down her throat to make her throw up.
She actually may not have. She may not have doubled it down.
No. I think she just touched it, and then we just all, you know how mamas and mamas are, they with the arm, when they slam on the brakes or like that. As soon as a kid puts Comet in their throat, they're like, get the thing in there. They got to throw water. Don't drink water. It's going to tear the insides out. I don't even know what it is.
I don't know the protocol.
I don't know the protocol either. But
no, but I've never eaten Tide Pods either.
Yeah, me neither.
No.
I mean, but that's a thing now.
Yeah, I never had that inclination.
I don't know what them kids are up to these days. That's what it is. They put too much sunscreen on their face. It soaks into their skin. Stay away from the damn sunscreen.
That's what I'm saying.
But anyway, sunscreen. Talking about the fishing, dude. We need to go back out and fishing. But when it warms up,
we'll go when it warms up a little bit. It'll be better.
Yeah.
It'll be better.
Yeah. This
and
morning was.
You alluded to earlier. You were talking about the trout deal.
Yep.
With COVID and everything that happened, I think the commission decided to
leave it alone.
Leave it alone. They slated it till this year. I think they're going to make a decision. They're going to gather some more data and make a decision on what they're going to actually do in October.
Probably. I mean,
and see what they're going to do.
So right now, what is it? 25 fish at 12 inches.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're thinking maybe 13 at 15 or something? 13 inches.
I'm hoping. They don't take something too drastic too fast, too drastic of
that's going to hurt commercial fishermen.
Well, it's because they're not going to go back,
right?
So
they're not going to revert.
So I'm hoping if I would be happy if it was 13 inches and you can keep 15 trout. I think. You
don't think they'll go too drastic, like 10 at 14 or something like that?
Well, I hope they don't say 14-inch fish and you can catch 15.
Yeah.
Because that'd be, a lot harder to do.
Right.
Like some months, I mean, the fish you're catching are 12, right at 12 inches.
Yeah.
Or, so you wouldn't have that many more fish to catch.
Right. So I mean, it's hard to be a commercial fisherman because you want to limit out every time you bring a customer.
Right. Well, you have those customers,
right?
And
you have customers that want to go for the fish, but you also have some that want to go for the to be out there.
You got two different types of customers, and hey, whatever the customer wants, I'm gonna try to do my best,
right,
every day in and day out. But some customers are good with, hey, Cap, man, just take your time. It's a pretty day,
right?
Let's go try to catch a few fish.
Yeah,
and they
whatever
happy. They happy with that,
right?
And you have some customers, they get, their first thing they get on the boat. Well, Cap, hey, so if we limit out on trout by 8:30, and we got 100 trout, we can go catch. Let's see, so we go get 20 reds after that, and then we could do that, and then maybe the drum. We go get 20 drum, and I said, yeah. I said, dude,
let's get the first fish first.
Let's go out there. We're gonna try to go get on them trout first. We're gonna see what happens. Yeah. I said, and hey, good Lord, let us go do all of that. We're gonna make the effort.
Hell yeah.
You got some customers like that, but that's not many. Most people,
they just enjoy being out there.
They understand that they have a lot better chance of catching fish with a guide than not with a guide,
right?
Because and the whole advantage too, another way to look at it is people make that investment in a big bay boat that may sit idle all year long, and maybe use it 2 or 3 times.
Right. That's a bad investment.
Right. So you're spending $80,000 that sits there for 2 or 3 times,
right,
all year except for 2 or 3 times out the year.
Right. When 2 or 3 times out the year, it might cost you a couple of $100.
And then you ain't got nothing to do but just walk up, go fishing,
have a few beers and a good laugh.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And you got to get a good tour guide, and that's what I like about you is because you know the land, and you're a very personal person. Like you, you don't want to get some dry ass dude that's out there. That's just...
I try to when people come on my boat, the first thing I do in the morning is I try to give them a little bit of that bayou culture.
Yeah.
And
you push them in, right?
I'm always well. I don't want to give them that old bayou baptism, but that's for another story here.
Okay.
After I give with this,
all right.
But I'll put on I got my stereo and my playlist, and I'm always playing a lot of the new stuff.
Yep.
You know, and
Nong Nu and the Wild Matus, for those of you that haven't heard them.
Yes.
Download their songs.
Right.
Some funny stuff.
They got some great stuff. Philip Porsche Jr.
Yep.
All his songs are about him growing up down here in South Louisiana.
Right.
And so I'll make
some
sure.
funny slang, funny twist, all kind of stuff.
So, and
stories.
I'll tell the people, look, we're going to have some chank stuff on, but we'll have some other stuff, but we'll have a little bayou culture and get the party started. Because you want the whole atmosphere of the boat to be fun.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean,
you don't want to go out there and it's going to be No, I want it to be a party.
You want it to be an adventure.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, and just like me and you going, you know, I mean, you want them to experience that same thing.
Right,
You know?
right. So
I mean, we're not dead serious down here. Life is too short.
Oh, that's right.
And laissez les bon temps rouler. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
right. So I'll put that on there, and naturally, they'll have this little song, my road song. Rhett, Philip and them did the $5 a tail
$5
song.
a tail, yeah.
That's about coming out there hunting with us.
Yeah, they wrote $5 a tail. What about 2 years ago or something?
Yeah,
and then as soon as they put it out, they changed the price to $6 a tail.
Yeah, he got to write the whole damn song over again.
It's a cool little song, though. Go download it. It's on iTunes. It's a cool little song.
Cool
it actually mentions you in the song too.
Right.
Yeah.
At the SHAWN P.
P.
LLC,
at the LLC.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's fun. So one morning, I'm over there getting my boat ready. All right, and I think I had a guy and his wife. They were gonna meet me at 5:30 in the morning, and we're going trout fishing. And I get to the boat early to get everything situated, and my back light wasn't coming on, so I go to the back. I grab my phone, and I got the light on my phone, and I'm trying to get this thing in there. Well, I fumble my phone. It hits the deck hits the gunnel, and it falls in the bayou. All I could see was the light on my phone do one flip, and it's gone, and it's disappeared. I'm like, my phone, and you know, today's world, all my dates, everything's on there.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I gonna do? I said, well, man, I looked at my watch. It was like 5:20. Man, I gotta have my phone. I said, it's gotta be right there. So, boy, I stripped down to just my tidy whities. I put the ladder down on the back of the boat.
Wait. What was the temperature? It was cold?
No, it wasn't cold. I think it was in May.
Okay, all right.
It wasn't freezing. It wasn't freezing, but it was still dark. Okay,
right.
And so I put the ladder down, and I put myself in that bayou. I'm like, oh my God, this is nasty. And I said, well, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I got the light on the phone.
All you gotta do is kick it.
I just got to look down there. I'll see the light.
Right.
So I pop my head down in the water, and I'm going to the bottom. Well, and I got my eyes open. So the first 1.5 feet, I could still see a glow of the lights from the dock. From above. And when I get a little lower, it was just pitch black darkness. And I'm like... I'm like getting scared. I'm like, man, where's that phone? And I'm reaching around. I gave it about 10 seconds, not long really. I said, man, I'm gonna come up underneath of the boat. I'm gonna hit my head. I don't know.
Started panicking.
Oh yeah, I come up.
You couldn't be a diver.
No. So I reach around. I'm on my tippy toes. I'm trying to drag around my feet, trying to find the phone.
Right.
I couldn't find it. And I'm thinking in my mind, man, Shawn, you better get out of this water, because if your customers show up and you got this big hairy beast coming out the bayou
in just his
croissants, I say it ain't gonna be a pretty picture.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, we're paying this guy.
Oh my goodness! So I get out the bayou.
It's like walking in to The Hangover.
Yeah. So I get out the bayou. I grab the hose. I don't want to have the boat ass all day.
Right.
So I'm rinsing myself down. You know, I rinse everything off real good between the twig and berries.
Got to get that, because you're going to get that marsh rash if you don't.
Dude, I got it all nice and spiffy clean. And I put my clothes on, and I got my shirt on. Next thing I see, just minutes after that,
boom, they roll up.
The headlights are pulling up, and they drive up, and we get in the boat ready and stuff. And they said, damn, Cap, you hot, huh? I said, nope, I ain't hot. I said, I done had a Bayou baptism already this morning there, babe.
You still haven't found the phone.
Dude, I come back after the trip, and I rigged my net up on a long pole.
Uh-huh.
And my buddies were like, it's got to be there.
Right there, yeah.
Dude, I drug for that sucker and drug. Never could find it. Never found it.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
That reminds me of a story when I went to Destin. I just bought my GoPro. We were talking about GoPros before we went on. And I just bought a brand new GoPro. Put it right on my hat. And it was with a clip. It wasn't that the actual, like, where you screw it into the hat.
Right.
Because they got the hats now where they got the accessories where you can screw it in. And it ain't coming off.
The hat is the GoPro.
Hat is the mount.
Oh, the hat is the mount.
The hat's the mount, and you stick the GoPro on it, and you screw it on there. So back then, right when GoPros came out, you just had the strap or a clip. So I clipped it on the side of my hat, and I'm going to be like, I'm going to go boogie boarding. Well, my wife just bought it for me because my birthday's June 1st, and we usually go to Destin the first week of June. So that was my birthday present, okay? So I got it in the box. I was at the condo, pull it out, everything. Go in there, grab my boogie board. Watch this. Get up. Where's the damn GoPro? Holly's like, where's your GoPro? And I was like, it's on my hat. Oh, no. I look down, and I see it.
Really?
So I go to put my foot on it. And, I mean, it's clear water. It's not like you where it's pitch dark and you just.
What?
No, I'm like, I can't find it. I'm underneath the water. And, I mean, the waves are pretty, 3-4 footers, They keep just knocking me. Can't find it. Half hour passes. I'm like, I can't believe this.
They're waterproof, too, no?
Yeah, they're waterproof. Holly's like, I just put that on the damn credit card. Didn't even get the damn credit card. It's gone. I didn't even pay for it yet, and it's gone. About a half hour later, some guy walks up. He goes, y'all were looking for a GoPro earlier? I was like, yeah. And he was like, I found it. And he said, I saw you looking. And he goes, and then I saw a GoPro in the water. I figured that's what you were looking for. And I was like, yeah, that's mine. I was like, cool. Dude, I couldn't believe it. I went back, and I looked at the footage of right when I went down, and you could see my foot. And I'm like looking around.
Right
and then
next
all of a
to
sudden, and then all of a sudden it just starts rolling. So a half hour.
The current rolled
a half
it.
hour. It's just a half hour footage. It was like,
no kidding.
And then all of a sudden, a half hour later, you see a hand grab it, and it's the guy. And then he walks over and he says, y'all were looking for this? And I'm like, yeah. Still got the footage. It's crazy. But I was like, oh my God.
Well, yeah.
I still got that GoPro too.
Wow.
That was probably about 7 years ago.
I was kind of skeptical about putting mine in the water and stuff.
No, they're good. Now the actual cases now, the actual model itself, the GoPro is waterproof now. Back in the day, it wasn't. You had to get the case to put inside of the case to make it waterproof. Right. Now, you don't need a case. Everything's waterproof now. So, I mean, and then it sucks because every month they come out GoPro 8, GoPro 7, GoPro 9, GoPro 10, GoPro Max, GoPro this, and it's like, bruh. And they change one little thing on it, and you got to get it.
Well, not old Sean P.
Yeah,
I just bought one. Just the other day.
Right. Well, I had a Hero 4.
I'm still learning.
Now I got a Hero 9, and that's it. So
yeah.
But no, it's fun. It's fun. You just play around. Well, in fact, after this, we'll go exchange notes.
Because I want to rig it up on the boat. That way I can kind of capture some of that footage while we fishing and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
Ain't no telling.
Ain't
no telling when you're gonna catch the big one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When we were little, we'd always catch the big one, and we never had proof of it.
Right.
Now, you got your phone, you got your GoPros, you got cameras, you got all kind of stuff, and you got the Y'all Catching show with Sean P and DJ.
Bam. Catch the big one. Catch the big one.
Plays all the time on Facebook. Go check us out. But look, dude, I'm gonna let you get at it because I know you're a busy guy and you're gonna go out. But I thank you for sitting down with me on the podcast,
dude. This was pretty neat. I appreciate it.
You didn't think you could talk for an hour, huh?
Well,
we had an hour and 10 minutes right now.
Really? I didn't know. I didn't.
Once you start talking, dude, it's like the podcast just starts coming out.
I thought I was going to kind of clam up, not know what to say.
Look,
but,
this is a new segment thing I'm going to do on the podcast. This is called Pod Decks, and all it is it's some questions. So I'm gonna let you pull your own question.
Oh Lord!
Pull a question, and we'll end the show with that. Go ahead. All right, let's see. This is the interview deck, Pod Decks. Oh, what's the most awkward thing that has happened to you? What's the most awkward thing that happens to you on a regular basis? I don't even know what the hell.
Well, now that you bring it up,
Uh-huh.
this is never fails. It always seems like, I get up in the morning when I'm going fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have to be at the boat for, say, 5:30, if my customers meet me at 5:30,
Right.
I got to get to the boat for, 5 o'clock. So I got to leave my house
Right.
at 4:45. And so I'll probably wake up at 3:30 because I like to get my coffee.
Right. Oh, I love my coffee.
I
First
got to
thing in the
drink my
morning.
coffee.
I
gotta
have to have coffee.
Hey, I got to have my downtime, and make right with the world.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, I got
Talk
to get
to
it
the
right.
man upstairs.
Gotta
That's it. Yep.
Gotta make it right.
Uh-huh.
So once I make it right, I normally, I'll get to the dock, and I don't know. It's always your customers show up, and it's like, maybe I need to go make peace one more time.
Yeah.
So I'll just say, hey, I gotta go check on something in the camp real quick. I said, I'll be right back.
You know, this podcast is being broadcast to over 600,000 people.
They'll
so you
forget
can't
about
use
that.
You can't use that excuse no more.
But hey, when I'm out there on the boat, just mind you, your captain does not want to have any physical distractions.
Oh no, I hear you.
No physical
man.
distractions.
And look, if you anything like me, I'm clockwork too, bro. It's like you get that first or second sip of coffee, it's on like Donkey Kong. You know what I'm saying?
If the plumbing don't work in the morning sometimes, and say I go about my business that day and it didn't happen, I'm like,
yeah.
oh my.
It's on your mind all the time. If your plumbing don't work at 6 or 7 in the morning,
dude, it's panic.
It will definitely burst by 10 o'clock. I'm just telling you.
It's panic time there, buddy.
you get the sweats. And bro, your asshole knows too. The closer you get to that toilet.
And it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny how he knows where your commode is.
It's true.
Because you could be like on the verge of shitting on yourself all day. And you can control that turd. You got command of that turd. But the minute you get to your house, baby, and you drive up in that parking lot, and you're going upstairs, which I'm upstairs, and you can't get the door open quicker. Oh my God! And I'm hurrying up, and you barely, and it's starting to come loose as you're pulling your pants down. Good thing you're over the toilet, and it works. It's like, how did I go all day?
Exactly.
That commode knows.
It's like magic. It's like magic.
Knows.
It knows everything.
That damn toilet.
Well, on that note,
it's down the shitter from here.
it's down the shitter from here. Thanks, Sean, for hanging out with me, man.
I enjoyed it, Rhett. Thank you, buddy.
All right. We'll see y'all next time on the DJ Rhett podcast, y'all. Later.